Hey, welcome to another countdown to Outbound. I am Mark Hunter, the sales hunter. And yeah, I have my cup of coffee right here. Hope you do too, because hey, coming in the studio in just a second is Kendra Lee. Excited to have her. She's one of the speakers at Outbound. I'm saying Countdown to Outbound. It's Outbound, less than 2 weeks away. So hey, let's roll the video. Let's get Kendra in here, and we'll have a great conversation. Welcome. How you doing, Kendra?
I'm doing great, Mark. How about you?
I'm doing terrific. How is life in Colorado? Now let's see. It's June, so you still could get snow in Denver, right?
Oh, absolutely. Although the garden is planted and we're saying prayers that there won't be any more snow.
Okay, I know you've had some late snowfalls, but hey, enough about the weather forecast. What are you seeing? Or maybe let me pose the question. What have you seen change in the sales world over the last 15 crazy months?
The biggest thing has been video. All the people, look at us, here we are. I mean, we've been doing podcasts all along, but the big thing that we've seen is the increase in use of video, especially in prospecting. Of course, we've also seen all the changes with LinkedIn that have been going on, but then there's video in LinkedIn too. So those are the big ones I'm seeing.
Well, that means for people who have a face for radio like me, that doesn't quite, no, it's, you know what? It really is. It really is video. It's amazing how quickly everybody has adapted to it. Are you seeing video being used at various parts of the sales process more frequently than others?
I think there's a lot of opportunity for it, but where I've seen the increase, you asked over the last 15 months, the big one has been more in prospecting. Like, how do we use video to gain access? I think there's a lot of opportunities throughout the sales process to do more. When you send a proposal, you're actually supposed to have a meeting to review it. However, a lot of reps still just send them. Well, you can send it with a video. If somebody goes dark on you, you can use video. So I think there's a lot more opportunity than what people are using it for.
Yeah, you touched on something there, sending a proposal. I always say you never send a proposal without legs attached to it.
Oh, I love that.
Right. I mean, think about that. But you're right. There are some people. There are salespeople out there. Oh, I'll just send the proposal because I really don't want to talk to them about it because and they go all wonky. Okay, so a video, yeah, that's a step up. But boy, sure, it's yeah.
It's funny though. Yeah, I agree. And okay, so what if you've sent the proposal and then you didn't set a follow-up meeting or they didn't agree to a follow-up meeting? Well, then what do you do?
Well,
so you got to find ways to distinguish yourself. And what I'm seeing is the more progressive reps are the ones who are using video to stay in front of their prospects. And following up on a proposal is one, sending them during the prospecting is another. Those are all different ways that you can distinguish yourself.
Yeah. What I'm finding is now that more and more reps are back out on the road traveling and so forth. And I'm traveling, starting to get out on the road later this week. In fact, I don't think that's going to replace video. I think, video is here for good. Because there were some people that I ran into, they said, well, as soon as we get back face to face, I don't think video is going to stick around. I go, I don't think so.
I don't agree. And I think even doing the meetings where you're live and you're on video, all that's going to stay because people are used to it now. The pandemic was long enough, like you said, 15 months. That we've all developed new habits and new ways of doing business. And frankly, why would you want to give it up? If you can have a face-to-face with a prospect that you normally wouldn't get to see, why the heck would you do that and go back to just talking over the phone?
Well, for sure. And because I think it allows you to be much more personable. It allows you to be much more engaging. You really capture the other person's attention a lot more. I mean, if we were just doing this on the phone, I could be sitting here on the phone with you and doing other things on my computer. But because you and I are both on the screen, I've got to keep looking at the camera. So you're right. We are much more dialed in, which I believe video meetings actually allow us to have shorter, more actionable meetings because we're more focused. I don't know. Is that a theory, do you think, or are you seeing, what?
I haven't seen them be shorter. I have seen, as you said, people are more engaged and, dare I say, nicer. Things that they wouldn't mind saying over the phone because they can't see your reaction. They're nicer.
Well,
I don't know a better way. I'm trying to be very diplomatic here, but
no, you hit on something. And I heard this from a customer service, customer experience individual the other day. And I won't repeat his name because he hasn't given me permission on. But one of the things he is really advocating is when you're dealing with customer complaints, you're dealing with issues, get face-to-face with them. Get face-to-face with them on video, because people will put into a text. They'll scream with caps. They will scream with stuff. Even on the phone, they will vent. But face-to-face, they're just a lot calmer.
Face-to-face, live, right? This is one where you don't want to send a video to somebody that says, "Oh, I'm so sorry that happened," because they can still vent. But live, they're nicer. They're calmer. They are thinking more professionally. And for me, I'm terrible with faces. I have a very hard time remembering people's names and faces together if all I do is talk to them over the phone. So I have loved video because now I not only remember the voice, but I've got the face to go with it.
You and I come from the same school of memory then. Thank you. Spot on. You're right. You're right. Because we connect visually with people. Yeah. And something interesting, when I was talking with this customer service person, customer experience person, and he was sharing with me what he's finding, it really comes back to me and says, video, especially for the negotiation phase. Again, how many times do we see salespeople sending over that proposal and they won't, and it may not just be presenting the proposal, but hammering out the final details. Getting them visually on a video is so much more engaging because you're going to keep them from just putting that stupid, can you take another zero off that cost? It really is. So great conversation here. What else have you seen happen over the last 15 months?
Oh, we have seen the increase, the challenge that people have had in trying to get past the no gatekeeper. This has been really interesting. We deal with prospecting, Mark. So everything that we do is new business development, either on the lead generation side through marketing, or it's on the prospecting side through sales. And the challenge that we have seen that salespeople have had is when they go to prospect, they are used to reaching somebody who picks up the phone and know how to get past it. Or they're used to reaching the phone system and they know they can zero out and reach somebody. But this whole, there's nobody at the other end, or they're gone, has really flummoxed salespeople.
Okay, now that's today's big word. There we go. Hey, because what are you telling people? How do you get past that? How do you get past when there's nobody there?
Well, that's where you use all the different strategies. We're going to have to go check and see, well, are they still at their job based on what LinkedIn says? And yes, we are going to send a message through LinkedIn. And we are still going to do email, and we are still going to call, but it's switching up your message and trying to get more personal, using creative ways to reach people, which is what led me to video, because that's a creative way to try and reach someone, using all your referrals, and being more personal. The other big change I've seen that you may have noticed is it was more like the holidays for 15 months. Hey, how are you doing? What's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing for vacation? Are you taking any time off?
So real on that, because it's funny, when we first went into the pandemic, I always said, you got to listen to everybody's backstory, listen to their backstory, because there's some sort of a journey that they went on to get to where they're at, and they're going through something. And I do find that some of that has really continued on, in that I think people, again, I may be wrong, I think people are a little more personally engaging today than they were 2 years ago.
Oh, absolutely. The rapport building is back.
Yes.
You remember sales training? Your first 10 minutes is look at the pictures on the desk. Now we can look at their backgrounds.
Oh, okay, let's see.
I know. My background is a wall.
But now stop and think about this, though. Again, this really changes the dynamics, because a lot of people have said, okay, the role of salesperson's dead. You can get anything you want on the internet. And I go, okay, well, yeah, if what you're selling is a transaction, that's fine. But if what you're selling requires any level of thinking, any level of you really got to figure things out, then relational selling in terms of with the salesperson is absolutely the way to go, period.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we are our customers' research and development department. It's our job to bring them ideas.
Well, you hit on it. It's our job to bring them ideas, so they can go and do all the research they want on the internet, but then they're trying to figure out, well, how do I apply this to me? And unless they hit on a case study or an example that's exactly who they are, then they need help. And frankly, they want your ideas, and nothing can replace that. I mean, we run lead generation for clients. So we're writing email campaigns, and we're doing social media, and we're doing all of the digital that everybody has said would replace a new business development rep. But we still consider the salesperson to be the critical element, because all we do is create a marketing qualified lead. The salesperson is the one that has to call and actually have a conversation and show a prospect, this is how it would relate to you and your business. Yeah. And everybody thinks they're unique, right?
Exactly. I love what you're talking, is you're using the term MQL, and there's a difference between MQL and SQL. And what you're doing is the salesperson gets involved there, and so forth. So what are you seeing? I mean, I'm sensing people are making buying decisions faster than ever.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's been really interesting. Last year, of course, a lot of people's business stalled. And the only thing that you could focus on was the immediate problem that somebody had and had to solve. Mm-hmm. Now, I'd still say they're not yet thinking very strategically, because most businesses are still wondering, well, how long is this going to last? How's it going to come out? But they didn't do anything for 15 months. Now they've got to do it. So we're seeing business be busier than ever before. And people are making their numbers again, and they were uncertain what January was going to bring, but they've got steady business happening.
You bring up something very good there, and you think about it. Yeah, companies are scrambling just to catch up from what they lost, just to get things, but they're not thinking really strategically, because right. I'm sensing that customers are really focused on just what are their top one or two priorities. It's just I got to take care of this right now, which does say that somewhere over the next several months, could be longer, could be shorter, companies will begin shifting to more of a strategic perspective. And I think that's incumbent on us as salespeople to be able to understand that and help our customers through that process.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Wow.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. There's so much, this is what's funny, because you just got me thinking. Remember when back in 2020, we were all anxious to get to 2021. And then January 1st rolled around, and January wound up being just as bad as 2020 was, But now, fast forward, here we are in, wow, that was out of the ordinary.
Bless you.
No, I've had my vaccine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, we fast forward to June, and it's a totally different world. Totally different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everything is opened up. Like you said, you're about to go travel again, outbound. Now, all of us who are going to be there virtual are going, wait a minute, I want to be there live, because now we can, but we didn't know when we had to make those decisions if we could be there live. Now, all of a sudden, you can go to restaurants. You don't have to wear masks. You can meet with people. Although, have you shaken hands with anyone?
Yes. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I did last week, first person in all those months that I shook hands with.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Outbound, the timing of Outbound this year, what we're talking about is the Outbound conference. I'm talking right now with Kendra Lee, who is speaking at Outbound. And it is, without a doubt, it's, how do you describe it? It's a Cirque du Soleil takes over a rock show to disrupt a sales meeting. It is that engaging and that powerful. But you can see down below there, it's June 15th through the 18th. Actually, it kind of starts on the 13th and the 14th, depending on what ticket you get. You can get the in-person or online. And hey, I bet you've got a code, right? What's your code for people to save $100?
Mine is Kendra 100.
Kendra 100. So hey, you can use that on both the in-person in Atlanta. Love to have you there, and online. And
what I love, Mark, is there no other sales conferences out there. Nobody else focuses on salespeople, and you get to go there, and it's not people who are saying, oh, you're a salesperson. It's people who are like, I'm in sales and look at what I'm doing. And this is how you can be successful. And I tried this and it worked. I tried that and it bombed. Oh, you need to do this. Oh, you need to meet this other person. It's just so exciting to be with other people who love being in sales like we do.
Yeah, I mean, everybody who is there wants to be there. And what's so different about this one is it's not a pitch fest. There's no selling from the stage. It's no pitch. This is 100% learning. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, and one of the things that always surprises me is the number of people who come to Outbound. And then I get a note back from them 3-6 months later. Hey, Outbound was great. I got a new job because of Outbound. They literally met somebody there.
Well, you're networking.
It's the networking
with like-minded people who care about sales, of course.
Yeah. In fact, I've already gotten notes from several unemployed salespeople who are coming to Outbound purely to find a job.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
And they will. They'll meet people who can connect them to other people.
Yeah. Hey, we got to wrap this up here in a second. But hey, what's your website? If people want to know more about Kendra Lee, where do they go?
KLAgroup.com.
KLAgroup.com. And of course, your code for the ticket is Kendra 100. Go to Outbound Conference. So hey, stick around for the after the show. Okay.
Excellent.
Hey, we will be right back. I've been talking with Kendra Lee, and we're going to be right back. Okay, that was quick. You didn't run away. I've actually had a couple.
You told me to stick around.
Well, I told you to. Yeah, but I've caught more than a few people who have told us that they could just jump over real quick. And no, it's a short video. So, hey, good to see you, boy. We haven't talked in a long time. Man,
it has been a long time. I remember back to when we had dinner at the Mexican restaurant after speaking at a conference, both of us, and talking about negotiation and prospecting and what were we seeing. And that was quite a while ago, Mark.
Man, that was probably what, 2004?
Don't say, because it'll age us both.
Okay, man, that was, I mean, maybe it was two, I don't know, but yeah, that was great because we had another great sales rock star with that. And Jill Conrath, like she's the one that kind of brought us together to do that event. And
because we all published books, our very first books, around the same time.
That's right.
And that's how we all met.
Hey, you're dating us. That's not good. So anyway, so hey, business good for you, and more importantly, what's your session on at Outbound?
Well, I have 3 sessions, and you're putting me on the spot. Let's see if I can remember.
That's okay.
I've got one on my always popular email, how you use email and prospecting, because I
Right.
talk about that all the time. And
Right.
so, fun side note for you, I first spoke on using email in sales in 1999,
Wow.
before people really understood email. And my conference sessions were standing room only because people wanted to know what the heck you could do with it. And
Wow.
here I am still talking about email and how to use it. So I've got a session on email, a session on LinkedIn and email, and a session on how do you coach salespeople for inbound leads. Because
Love it.
of course we've got those MQLs and SQLs that we're working with, and so you got to
Yeah.
know, how do you help your salespeople convert them.
Yeah. See, this is the whole thing about outbound. It is so big, so encompassing. Even if you come live, you still get access to the online. Like, I mean, I'm there live. I mean, I'm one of the people putting the thing on, but I love it because afterwards I get to go back and watch all the sessions I wasn't able to catch,
Yeah, I'm looking
and
forward
that's the power. That's the power of
to
what
that.
outbound is, and it's 100% learning. So anyway, hey, we are bumping our time limit here. So
Already.
already, I told you it goes fast. I told you.
Can I share that I'm only going to be virtual this year, so I'm going to miss that. But people can still reach out if they have
Great.
questions, and I'll be in the virtual booth.
You'll be in the virtual booth. Okay, but you can still grab a ticket. There's flights between Denver and Atlanta. So anyways, hey, great to catch up with you. Absolutely terrific. You've been listening to Countdown to Outbound, or you've been watching Countdown to Outbound. I'm Mark Hunter. We've had Kendra Lee on. And hey, tomorrow morning, Victor Antonio joins me in the studio. And of course, he is one of the 4 ringleaders. And who knows what we're going to talk about. So, hey, Kendra, thanks so much. Take care.
Thanks for having me, Mark.